Sanjay,
Yes. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Great. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. But you still remember my name? Oh my God, it's very good.
The what happened?
You still remember my name?
Sanjay, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very unique name. You're the first student I've talked to named Sanjay, so it's easy to remember for me.
Okay.
But anyway, it's great to see you. How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm fine.
Good. Last time you and I talked, we chatted about being sick and about symptoms and coughing and how to talk to the doctor. You had some really good questions. So I'm wondering, do you have any questions for me today?
Um. No. I decide that I will talk different kind of question and about in English language. And so I want to talk today how to ask question about, suppose if I want to ask anything to anyone about the past situation. So how to ask question, so there are many situation usually come, how to ask question about the past.
Okay. That's okay. So in English, we have many different verb tenses, and one of them is the simple past, like just what we think about past tense, like yesterday I ate dinner, like that, right? So, for example, we usually ask if we want to keep it simple past, just simple questions. We would say, "Did you?" For example, "Did you?" Blah blah blah. So, did, as you know, is the past tense of the past tense of do, of to do. You know that, right?
Yes.
So when we have two verbs, when we're asking questions about the past, we take the verb to do and we change that to the past, did, and we put that at the front of the sentence, and then the verbs that come after that we keep in present tense. Like Sanjay, let's see, it's late. Okay, did you eat breakfast this morning?
Yes. Yes, I had the breakfast.
So yes, I had, or yes, I had breakfast, or yes, I ate breakfast. So I asked, did you eat? That's a past tense question. Eat is present tense, but the reason that's present tense is because did is already in past tense. Did
Yes,
you eat?
and any different way have, like, I study on grammar, and I saw there, and sometime they asked, where you coming, and what were you doing. So at the same thing, how long had you been working this job. So is those also right uh, question, and how to say that, word is not coming to explain what exactly I want to say. And and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
actually I want to know that how many way we usually ask question about the past. So you said one way, did you eat something? So at the same way, there are many way have for asking questions. So all about I want to confirm.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, this is a very good question, and this is probably one of the most important things about learning English. These are the verb tenses. In English, there are 12 of them, and one of them is simple past. We just did that one. It depends on what you are trying to ask the person. So if I can say like how have you been doing, right? So if I say how have you been doing, that is no longer the simple past. So you can say, oh, I have been doing well. So that's called the present perfect continuous. Like I have been blah 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 blah. It's something that started in the past, but it's still happening now. It's still related to now. So how have you been doing recently? How have you been doing since since the last time you and I spoke on Cambly? How have you been doing? Oh, you could say I've been doing fine. I've been doing well. So it's past and it's present. It started in the past and it's still happening now. So that's one example. Another example might be, have you read any good books recently, or have you seen any movies? So I'm not saying did you see, I'm saying have you seen? Or what's the difference? Have you seen?
Okay.
This is called the present perfect. This is one of the most common verb tenses. Present perfect. So have you, past participle. So do you know what past participle means?
Yeah, I know. It means something happened few minute few minute ago.
So past participle, so when we talk about the past tense verbs, they can conjugate in two different ways. We can change them to simple past, or we can change them to past participle. For some words, it's the same exact words. It's the same exact change. Like read. Yesterday I read, or yes, I have read. It's the same, it doesn't change. It stays the same. But some other verbs, it might be different. Like eat. Yesterday I ate. Or I have been eating. So like if you completely changes depending on what you're trying to say. Have you eaten? So now I don't use ate. Eaten, that's the past participle. Have you eaten anything this morning? So I didn't say did you eat, I say have you eaten? What's the
Okay,
difference?
okay, sir. One more
Yeah.
question I have. That could you say something about the like make some sentence to make me easy, and I could not do this, or I did not do this.
Mm-hmm.
So could you make some sentence like to explain about this situation?
Yeah, so like asking if you were able to do something in the past and you want to say I could not do something. Is that what you mean?
It means I could do this, but I could not.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay. Wow, that's a really good question. How do I explain this? So yeah, when we say I could, or I wish I could, or I could do this in the, like, so for example, in the past, when I was young, I could run very fast, but now I can't.
Okay. Even I see that some of uh, sentence I see that I could have finished this work. That's how also written. Uh,
Hmm.
is it right sentence?
So, oh yeah, okay. So I could have done this thing.
And
Okay.
that's way. That's way.
So we're talking
This way.
about, yeah, so we're talking about, this is a conditional in the past. Like, for example, I didn't do this thing, but I could have done this thing if if I had more time, or if I had known about it. I could have done this thing. If you would have told me, I could have, like my students, right? So they say, "Oh, I'm trying to schedule your class and I'm having a hard time." I might say, "Well, you should let me know. If I would have known, I could have saved you a time." So it's something I could have done in the past, but it's not something I did. It's conditional. If you had told me, I could have done this. So that's called a conditional, talking about the past. Does that make sense? So we say
Yes,
could
yes.
have, meaning like it's something we might have been able to do or could have done, but we did not do it for whatever reason.
Okay. So
So that's what we
sometime
can.
yes, yes, yes. Sometime I also see that I should go and I should be going. Is it right sentence? I should be going. I should be saying right word. Is it right sentence? I should be coming
Mm-hmm.
here at the same time. I should be coming on time. I should be. Is it right sentence? I should be
Mm-hmm.
come here on the time. Is it
That
right
depends.
sentence?
That's right, but that depends on what you're trying to say too. It always depends on what you're trying to say. So say should means, the word should by itself means it's something that we ought to do, but we may or may not do it. So if, for example, you're at your friend's house, you're like, oh, I should go. Like it's late, I should go. That's fine. That means I ought. It's late, so I need to go home. If you say I should be going, it can mean the same thing. I should go. I should be going. It means the same thing in this sentence, but the difference is, you might say, if you plan on staying anyway, you can tell your friend, oh, I should be going, but I'll stay here. Kind of like, if you say I should be going, it's kind of like maybe you'll do it, maybe you won't. If you just say, oh, I should go, that kind of means more like I should go. Like I'm going to go. I'm going to leave. There's no room for it. So in just for that one example that you mentioned, should go, should be going, that's how we use those words. Those two different examples.
And sometime while speaking in English language, sometimes
Yeah.
I feel that either I am saying mistakenly or correctly or wrong. So that's how
Yeah.
sometimes I feel. That's why many kind of doubt usually come.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
what is the difference between would have, and I would do? Would I will go. I would go. It means it is the past of will.
Yeah. Would is the past of will. Yes.
It means I could do, but I would do. I will do, but I anyhow that I could not do that. That's why I will use in place of will, I will use would. Is it right?
So yeah. So here it's similar to could. We can use it the same way. Like, oh, I would if I had known this thing. If you told me, I would have done this. Or if I knew the weather was going to be, if I knew it was going to rain today, I would have brought my umbrella. So here, but it's similar to could. It's something that we would have changed in the past. But the difference is when we say would, that's more like a change in our behavior. It's like we would change. It's not saying we would do this thing. It's like a willingness. I would have been willing. I would have taken my umbrella with me. If we said I could have taken my umbrella, it's the same meaning, but it's like, well, yeah, but that's something that's more focusing on the action, like the act of taking. It's more of like the process of doing. We don't want to, if we're talking about taking an umbrella, right? We're more focused on like why are we taking the umbrella? Because it's raining. Not what are you doing? I'm taking the umbrella. I would have taken my umbrella. I would have brought it with me because it was raining. So the focus is on why we take it. If I would have known this, I would have taken my umbrella. If you would have told me this, I would have saved you a spot. I would have done this. If I knew that I had to wake up early this morning, I would have gone to bed last night. So here it's more about your behavior and more about the reasons and your willingness when you say would have. Could, again, it's very similar, but could is more like the actual action itself, not so much the reason behind it. Like, oh yeah, I could have done this if I'd have known. I could have gotten up early. I could have. So it's a little bit different. I know that's confusing, but does that help a little bit?
Yes, yes, yes. Sir, one more thing that I have written some common word which is used. I have written, but I think just some while speaking English language, I see that many kind of preposition are used to make a sentence. So I hope next time I will talk about. I would like to learn about the preposition which are used to make sentence.
Okay.
So all are I have written, but I will talk next time, and because it is very less time here, and
Okay.
family is very 15 minutes I usually get, but it is when I start and from start and it's going very fast.
Yeah.
It goes very fast.
That means you're enjoying your lesson. So that's a good sign.
It's very fast. This 15 minutes goes to, from my side that I feel.
Yeah, me too. It goes by very fast, especially when I enjoy the students I'm talking to. So, but Sanjay, good job today. You asked very good questions. So, you asked a lot about conditionals today. So, if you want, you can Google conditionals and that might help you out a lot. But I'll see you next time, okay?
Okay, see you.
All right. Yeah.
Sure.
Have a nice night, Sanjay.